place America first. Honoring those who America has forgotten. Listen in and unlearn to relearn. As we set the record straight. And now, your host of the Truth Be Told show, Mr. Jeff Joe, and Uncle Meshorn.
Good morning. This another great Tuesday, and my brother on the line. What's up, Joe?
What's going on, family? How you doing there, Uncle Meshorn?
Man, listen up, man. What a crazy Tuesday coming out of the weekend, going on. Before we even go there, bro, just go ahead. What kind of Tuesday is this, man? Matter of fact, if I'm just gonna go and say this right now, because y'all don't seem to want to give us no love and everything. This might be the only Tuesday left, okay? And because I'm just gonna keep it 100. I'm disappointed. We done asked, we done required, we see. I'm just gonna get. I'm all my partners. I'm gonna just bust some people out. Uncle Meshorn can't carry this show continuously, okay? I can't. I help us get to where we at. We got some sponsors and everything, but you, the listening audience, come on, man. What kind of Tuesday it is, man? Are we gonna be back here next week? We don't know. It's all depending on you. Go ahead, Joe.
Hey, man, it is actually Tuesday the 29th. This is 3/29/22. This is March 29th, 2022. It is actually the only March 29th, 2022 that you will ever find in your life. So guess what? You better make today a great day because it's the only March 29th, 2022 that you will ever get. All right, Uncle Meshorn, back to you.
Hey, I'm trying to make this Tuesday the 29th a historical Tuesday night. I want it to be maybe potentially the Tuesday that all you listeners out there listen up and you see the value of Truth Be Told. I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. My wife and I done dropped way too much money in this city, in this state, and everything. This is tax season. Many of y'all trying to wait and get your tax check and everything. My wife and I live a certain financial stability and everything. I got to actually write a check to Uncle Sam because of my status and everything. Matter of fact, you know what, Peter, in my 30 years here, I've only gotten 3 times that I've ever got anything from Uncle Sam ever wrote and gave me a check. Taxes. Golly. Every time prior, I've had to write a check to tax. Now, why am I saying that? We're not going off the air because we're not Peter financially capable, Marcus financially capable. I know my brother, Joe, you financially capable. We're capable of carrying this show. We're capable, right, Joe? We capable, right?
Yeah, we absolutely capable, man. It's not about capability.
Right. Now, the only reason we got to do what we do because I'm sick and tired of leeches people, crime-based people been listening to this show. This is like, matter of fact, treat this show like if you want us to be on next week, Joe gonna tell you how you can put something in the tank, okay? Put something in the tank and keep us on the air because Uncle Meshorn ain't doing it, okay? My wife told me, I made a promise to my wife after the 2006 Peace Festival that I will never allow our financial means to get in the way of doing things because I put us in a big hole. Back to Peter, you know about what I'm talking about, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I did. I put us in a big hole because I was trying the Louisville Peace Festival. I wanted to do something for this community, and I brought George Huff here. I had local bands, and you know what? This community ran out on me, and we had to pay the cost. And guess what, Joe? Because of the man that I am, I didn't file bankruptcy, Joe.
Hey, you handled it, man. You absolutely handled it. And to your point, the ability to support the Truth Be Told show, you know, please, you got to hit us up at historyuntold400.org. I mean, remember, that's historyuntold400.org. Make a donation of any size. Go ahead and do $1 million, because I know some of y'all just sitting with it in your back pocket. Listen, just go ahead and go to historyuntold400.org, make a donation, do Cash App. $. Y'all love Cash App, man. I know they starting to regulate it and all that good stuff, but guess what? I know you still loving it. You're still sending them messages saying, hey, I'm sending this money for that right there. So just do it. $, History Untold 400. $ History Untold 400. That's Cash App. And if you hit us up on PayPal, it is History Untold Inc. at gmail.com. That's the email that you would use for PayPal, folks. It's historyuntoldinc at gmail.com. Don't worry about your 50 cent. Send the 50 cent. It's okay to send the 50 cent. If I get 1,000 people to send 50 cent, then I got some good money. So go ahead and send us something on either one of those platforms. And right now, folks, it is time for the American Family Association of Kentucky Better Days with Peter Hayes. Filling in. Is Mr. Peter Hayes there?
Mr. Peter Hayes is here, but we put him, go ahead, Peter. We put him on silence a little bit because we got another conversation we got to go to. We're gonna slide that down a little bit, okay? We gotta talk about the noise that's going on out there that everybody talking about. We gotta talk about it, but we can't come on this air, the truth be told, and not talk about the slap.
The slap heard around the world.
The slap heard around the world.
I'm still hearing it. I'm still hearing it.
How can we possibly do that? Hey, go ahead, Vince. Play that little piece, Pete. Vince, go ahead and play that little piece.
Now this is a story all about the Oscars got turned upside down. Will was sitting in his seat, cracking up in his chair. Chris Rock made a joke about Jada's hair. Love you. Jada too. Can't wait to see. All right. In West Philadelphia, side and rage. Will said, betting more straight to the stage. Maxing, relaxing, walking on cold, and gave us a glimpse of Ali too. Gave him a cross, sacrifice for a hug. Uh-oh, Pookie, it ain't looking good. He threw one good slap, and the crowd got scared. They're looking at Will like, yes, nigga here. Kept on wild and ranting from his chair. Keep my wife's name out your mouth, baby, up clear. If anything, this could probably hurt his career, so he thought I could fix the time to bring up the tears. He stood up there crying, brother, tears so fake. Tyler Perry told him, y'all can shoot the fair one later. Went to his family, and he finally shared his first eye. Now this is
oh yeah, we had to drop that because it's being heard all over the world. Okay, that Mr. Will Smith might have lost it, and I want to just let it be known, all right, that I was talking to my partner before we got on the air and everything. Martin Smith, he's at promotion. You know, I'm 87. You know, and when you get a promotion, okay. People who give you that promotion and everything, one of the things, you must understand the promotion you're walking in. I really don't think, or Jada Smith understands the promotion that Will Smith has been given, the status and the position that he had. I got to ask you, Joe, did he just mess up the status and his promotion that he had moving forward?
I believe that this brother has some fantastic bounce back ability. So he you know, he may have messed something up right now. You know, his white folk gonna look at him and they're gonna have a little bit of a problem with him and say, you know, why Mr. Smith did you do that? That was terrible. You're bringing the nigger out of the, you know, you're bringing the nigger back. So you know, I think it's going to be a bit of a problem for him, but I think that he has some great bounce back ability, man. Hey, bro, remember we talked yesterday. I thought it was a joke. I didn't see the Oscars. I thought it was a joke, and then next thing you know, I looked at it and I said, oh. But I think he more so was manipulated by the look his wife gave him than anything else, brother.
And now you lead me into the conversation. Listen up, man. Listen up. he was laughing about it. He even clapped about it when it first came down. You actually saw it, and he was laughing and talking until he looked around and looked at Jada, and he realized,
There's a part of me that wonders. There's a part of me that wonders whether or not he didn't understand the G.I. Jane reference in that moment in time. Therefore, he was just laughing, maybe because it could also be referenced that, you know, she's bossy. She's you know, a little bossy. So he was clapping, laughing, and you know, per that. But then when he looked and saw her face, whoa!
He said he had to go home with this. He said he was gonna have to correct that. You know, he said, "Oh no, there's no way." Hey, and then just see what that little thing we sent out about from a woman's perspective. My wife let me know that she wouldn't allow me to go up there and do such a thing to embarrass myself like that. Jada, we wonder who's running the pants, who's wearing the pants down there, man. You know, and then, you know, I'm gonna get you in this, Peter, because I actually talked to couple of my European friends that was working on my car that I get the caddies who worked on and everything. And so I said, I had to ask you know, you heard about the slap and everything. And Peter, the European older generation had a different conversation. They actually said to me, Joe, you might think this is kind of funny, but this guy said, the European older gentleman said to me, he said, first of all, he had a little bit more history. I didn't really. He said that Chris Rock been talking smack for quite a long time. He said, Will, instead of using his hand, he should have punched him in the face and everything. Because
y'all said it right. A slap is a gentleman's way of checking somebody.
Yeah, he said if I was gonna knock somebody out, I would have knocked him out. He wouldn't have been able to get up. Okay, he said. So he thought it was kind of staged, and he thought it was kind of a little buffoonery and some stuff going on, man. But you know, all I'm gonna say, and Peter, you and I talked about this, and I want to go lead in this, and I want to bring you into this as well, is that we got to be careful in the gladiators and the Roman times and Hollywood and all the craziness and everything, because, you know, those people are elitists. That's craziness going on, and we are the underserved majority out there. We got to be careful about allowing ourselves to get distracted and pulled into nonsense that get us unfocused on the things that we need to be had. Peter, you want to speak to that?
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday.
Right into the family conversation.
Yeah, we talked about that yesterday. It's, you know, it's kind of interesting for a half a minute, but is it going to help anyone in their life be better? It's kind of a distraction, people talking about it versus getting on with what they need to do to be a better individual and create a better family and community. So I agree with that.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to bring that at the top as we talk about, you know, the family, and we're talking about the traditional two-parent family household and the dissolving before our eyes. This dissolving right before our eyes, you know, our men. You know, I do like the fact, you know, and initially I gave Will props for the fact that he was defending, y'all saw it, you saw me put it out there, right, Joe? I was first giving him props for defending his wife, right? That's what
he still gets props for defending his wife. You know, he still does.
Yeah.
But when it wasn't on his call. That's the
right. He was influenced and manipulated. Okay, into it. And we got a caller on the line and say, I definitely want to get involved with this conversation.
Hey, caller, welcome to the 2-3 Talk Show.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good. I'm doing well. I think, you're talking about the slap heard around the world, and everybody seems to be talking about it. But I think one thing that's getting missed over the conversation is what was told to him before he went on, before he went up there by Denzel, about how when you get to a place in life where you're at your highest is when the devil comes, after you. And, I think that's a part of being, aware of where you're rising to. You can rise to the top, but what's going to happen with you up there determines whether or not you are ready for that promotion and are aware that you're in that place, and
Denzel said to him, prior to that, is be aware that you're in that place.
And what's so funny about this, Martin? You and I was talking about 2 weeks ago. I was going to talk about promotion, and then I think about 2-3 years ago, you and I talked about promotion and everything. And this happened just before we was going to come on the air. And what did I call you this morning? Say, man, this got to be God talking about how many people out here may be missing their promotion because they don't know, or you may be an embarrassment to people who have given you a promotion because you don't know how to handle it. Would you say something to that, Mark? Why we got you, man? I don't get you very often, so I get you while I can, man. Go ahead and say something to that.
Yeah, no worries, man. It's a moment is just that, a moment. I think Joe said it best this morning. You woke up in this moment and you will never have it again. And being at that place to where you realize that there's going to become a moment, there's a moment going to happen in your life where you're going to be expected to be or do or be a part of something that was promotion, a place where you're going to be able to shine, use your gifts, do well, use your platform like
right.
Use this platform there to really take the moment to accept a more, wiser position. It's not so much that he's an awful human being. None of that.
Right.
I don't think any of that's relevant. What I think's relevant is, was he ready for that moment? And that's so. Like, there's people right now that I deal with in my life that most people wouldn't take the time to deal with. But I can tell you that most people that I deal with that wouldn't take the time to deal with these type of individuals who are not in their circle of awareness are the people who aren't ready for the promotion. Because you got to work with everyone, even a Chris Rock in that situation, who's like somebody said earlier, deserves kind of even worse, instead of a slap, like a gentleman, maybe a beat down, because of what he said. Maybe that's the mentality of it all. But, Will had the opportunity right there to really, if he was going to go up there, he could have really went up there and used his word and his platform to call down bullying from that stage. We should never be bullying somebody. Maybe you didn't know that she had this issue, and there's friction between me and my wife, and that's between me and my wife. And,
and the conversation. There's a family conversation. Well, thank you, Martin, for joining us and getting with us and everything. You want to say something to your buddy Peter real quick? To say, Peter on the line with us.
Yeah, Peter, I just want to say something about you guys in this show. I talked to Peter after I listened to the show last week, and I appreciate what you guys do, and I look forward to the chemistry of the show that's starting to develop between you and Peter and Joe in a way that becomes a lot more comfortable. And I don't mean that you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, there's again a promotion in being in that space, and so I just wish you guys luck, and I'm glad that you guys are taking the, like you said, out of your own pocket and putting a platform together where truth can be told, regardless if it's confrontational or not. It's your truth and how you're telling it, and I just commend you for putting on a show to do so.
All right, appreciate it, brother. We're going to go to a little music, little commercial break and everything. This is the truth be told. This is how we do it on Tuesday, and we want to stay here. We want to stay here. We really do, okay? We really, really do, okay? But y'all going to have to do it for us. Now you're going to help us out. All right, we'll be right back.
What's up, folks? This is Mr. Just Ask Joe, and I want to tell you about a quaint little spot called D Nally's. Awesome food, great price, 970 South 3rd Street. Remember, D Nally's, 970 South 3rd Street. Check them out. Get something good to eat. people to have a name change ever so often. In American slaves' short history, we have had several. When slavery was flourishing, nigger and black were two of the many disparagements for slaves. When I was a youngster, slaves were called colored. When Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was leading the descendants of slaves, we were called Negroes. Black succeeded Negro as the major term of self-definition during the Black Power years. In the late 1980s, in the aftermath of a smaller cultural nationalist movement, African Americans superseded Black as a preferred term of self-reference. However, if we started our beginning back during slavery, our racial name was slave. It is clear to see that the leadership of American slaves is confused about where their people's roots are planted. To put it bluntly, descendants of slaves don't know who we are because no one has told us from whence we as a group really came or how we as a people came about. Having so many name changes would indicate that even though bewildered and disoriented, we are still seeking our true identity.
Hey, Joe, listen up. You know who we got in the room with us, and I want you to introduce him because it's very important that we introduce right after this conversation, okay, about, all these name changes and everything, and all these things that we've gone through. And we already know, the dominant European cultures, the ones, confused us and everything. I think we're lucky. Joe, are you there? Joe, are you there?
I'm here, brother. I'm here.
I think we're fortunate to have in the house with us the one and only, okay, official. You know who he is, Joe. What you tell us?
This brother right here is the he was recently appointed by the United Nations as global spokesperson for all white people. So what we're gonna do here in this second segment here, this segment is called Ask Mr. Whitey. Okay, so we want you guys to call in and ask a question that you always wanted to ask Mr. Whitey, but maybe didn't want to or was a little afraid to do so. Now is your chance to ask Mr. Whitey. All right, Peter Hayes, who is the United Nations global spokesperson for all white people. All right, so give us a call, 502-571-1240. Again, that's 502-571-1240.
For I am honored. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm in the room with the national spokesperson, the global. Oh my Lord. Woo! Listen, I've always wanted to know. I just need to ask. Can I just gotta ask this question, okay? Can I just ask this question?
Yes, you sure can. And it's an honor to be here in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been traveling the world, been over in Ukraine and Russia, dealing with those folks over there. But I'm back here in Louisville, and it's an honor to be on the Truth Be Told and my new appointment as the official global spokesman for all white people.
I just always want to ask this question. And here's the question I said. Do y'all call yourself white when we're not around?
Not me. I've never heard someone say I'm a white person.
Y'all don't even call yourself white.
So you don't even point over there and say that white guy over there. What do you say then if there's a black guy standing there and there's a white guy standing there and you need to differentiate the white guy because he's whatever did this, that, or the other, and you want to point him out, then what do you do?
Well, that's a great question. We all kind of have, if we have to define people, we look at certain characters, that big guy, that short guy, skin color. So, we talked last week that there are no different races of people. So, we're joking around with this, but the reality is, that idea that there's 5 different races is really whacked out. So my job is the
speaking of that, does since we're asking Mr. Whitey, then do white people know that they came from the melanated people?
I don't think they do. I don't think most people do. History is an interesting thing because the history is made by the victors. So whoever wins a victory, they write the history books. So that's just the reality. Do any of us really know where we came from? 300 million years ago or 300,000 years ago. we don't really know where we came from.
You know what, Mr. Whitey, you have to be the most honest Mr. Whitey I've ever talked to, because I am
the Mr. Whitey.
Yo, you the Mr. Whitey. I mean, it's
you ever deal with imposters?
Yeah, okay. It's obvious because you seem to be comfortable in your whiteness. I mean, you understand, where humanity all started from, and you're okay with that idea. I heard an organization say, and maybe you can answer this for me. I heard an organization say that they started civilization. Civilization started from them, and then the white culture took it over. Messed up. I need to ask you, how did that come about?
Our slogan around the world is "White is all right."
So is that where white on rice came from?
Yes. Yes, that's right. White on rice.
Gotcha. So with that being said, then is there anything else, any secrets you want to divulge about white people, Mr. Whitey?
Well, as the question of where we all came from, people, the China has a 6,000-year written history, Korea 5,000, 4,000, Japan, African nations and Middle Easterns have a long, long history. We don't know the beginning, really. We hear bits and pieces. Even the scriptures, the book of Genesis was given at the time of Noah. So we don't know how many thousands or millions of years that was in between. So people get caught up in this. I say we should take our identity from our creator, not from external things. And if we do that, then we have a different viewpoint. As I mentioned the last couple of weeks, if we take a cosmic view and universal view, global view, all right. When we start nitpicking and getting down in the trenches, it gets ugly.
It is very good to be in here having this conversation, and I want to give you props for having the courage to come in, because I've had plenty of shows, and I'll be trying to get my European friends to call in and be a part, and they're so afraid to come in because they don't like the controversy. So, what do you speak to that, to all the other demographic people who associate themselves to you? What do you say to them if we're ever going to be able to fix the problems of the past if we're not willing to have these conversations? What do you say to them?
Yeah, it's important. I think the reaction is, when people get all angry and emotional and can't have conversation, it's like, well, we don't want to mess with y'all.
So you saying that the emotion in that? Now, I want to clarify what you said. You just implied that all the emotions and everything come from our end, that we seem not to be able to handle the conversation.
You didn't see me smacking Chris Rock on the Grammys, did you?
Uh-oh, did he just say that?
Man. You didn't see one of my homeboys smacking Chris Rock at the Grammys?
As a matter of fact, I've never seen a European culture of people do such a thing and everything. Just keep it honest. Darn, we get out the kitchen, or we get an opportunity, or we get a little celebrity position, and everything, and this is what y'all say. We don't know how to act, right? This is what. Come on, say it.
Hold on. There was that one time where the white guy looked at the camera and said, George Bush doesn't like black people. Oh, never mind. I'm sorry. That was Kanye. My bad.
That was Kanye.
That's one of y'all.
What about the time where the white guy threw the shoe at George Bush? My fault. That was a Middle Eastern guy. He was a melanated people. My bad.
Japanese. That was in
we seem to be so angry at Mr. Whitey's.
Yeah, well, you've been all brainwashed. My buddy, Slave Master Democrat, has done a great job in brainwashing all you folks, and you got you angry and hating on folks, so you can't prosper and be successful. And that we talked about earlier about the breakup of the family. Yeah, so you guys are easy picking.
Oh man, listen, I think we got a caller. But we have a caller we want to talk to, Mr. Whitey.
Show.
Look here, brothers. I'm gonna separate myself from everybody. If y'all want to take the left, I'll take the right. I'm talking about the whole world. And if the whole world want to take the right, I'll take the left. Because it's all a losing battle. There's so much stuff going on.
Yeah.
I look at Facebook, and everybody got a comment about what happened at the Oscars.
Yes, sir.
Everybody. And it all depends on how you interpret the slap. Some say that Will was defending his wife.
Yeah.
Others saying that he making the black people look bad. It don't do nothing to me. And a man giving an open hand slap, evidently the slap wasn't that hard. But then we look, and we got a problem going on where people are getting bombs in the house.
Right.
Exactly. People are running out of, that's nothing. That's not even mentioned. It's not even discussed.
Yeah, exactly.
And then if you discuss it, the system that made you guys feel the way y'all feel comes into play. Well, those are white people. White people going against, that's the white man's war.
Yeah, right.
But all of you guys are the way you are because of the system that you came out of. The system that you came out of make Mr. Whitey feel superior. Mr. Whitey feels superior. And I'm talking about you, Peter. I'm not talking about you per se. But he feels superior because the system had two ways of living. The black man feels inferior.
Right.
Because of the system.
Right.
That you guys came out of. That's why, I say I'm going to let y'all have it, and I'm going to go on. While you all are arguing and fighting over skin color, I'm going to sneak on in there, and I'm going to be like Jacob, and I'm going to sneak the birthright. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to see why they fighting, and they done left the birthright on the table while they squabbling for the crumbs that fall for the master's table. I'm asking my creator, give me everything. But what do you want? I want everything that I want. I want to possess everything. I want the women. I want whatever I want. And then let me say this, and I'm going to get off of here. The power is not in the dollar. It's when you can have what you want without money.
Right.
When you can get what you want. It's not always about this money. So the people is highly messed up. I'm talking about, brother, you live in a fallen state of humanity that Jesus Christ came to raise us all up out of. And I promise this is the last time I'm going to say this. We got to come on up, brother. You got to unlearn the things that you thought that you didn't learn. You got to unlearn all of this in the box of beggarly element of this world thinking. So that's why, this is why I choose as of today to be by myself. I'm by myself. If anybody wants to hear this message that don't nobody listen to, I'll be willing to share it, out on the park bench.
All right.
But anyway, gentlemen, as always, thank you. And I'm not gonna say Mr. Whitey. I'm not Peter. I'm not letting you go that route. Mr. Blackie. Have a great day, gentlemen.
As always,
right.
You come strong, you come real, man. We appreciate you, man.
Absolutely. I bet Mr. Whitey was thinking, man, I hope you calm down. Don't get too riled up.
In all seriousness, we brought this segment to have a little fun. We know that this is going to be our last show. Unless you all surprise us. I'm hoping, Peter Hayes. In all seriousness, and I'm gonna keep it all the way 100. I don't really want to go off the air. I really don't. But I got to be all seriously and honest with y'all, okay? And Joe, everybody's listening. Unless you all, okay, wants us to stay on the air, you see the value in us, okay? It's interesting. We had a sponsor that was to support this and everything. And just because we had a certain amount of truth that we spoke, okay, that sponsor couldn't handle the truth that we were saying. Now, prior to that, we were supporting our stuff to be here and everything. And I know that we want to stay on, but what I've come to realize, okay, is that unless you, the citizen, put skin in the game to free yourself, okay, then nobody can free you. Yeah. All of us up here, we actually keep it one here. I know how Joe lives. I know how Peter lives. I know how Marcus lives. We all have a certain amount of freedom, okay? We all have a certain, but I'm 61 years old. I got a retirement. I told my wife, I promised my wife that I couldn't continue using my retirement, okay, and my things that I worked hard for to try to continue helping those people who are not willing to sow into us. I'm just saying, Joe.
Hey, let me give them an opportunity to support us. All right, let me go ahead and tell them how they can support us. First and foremost, I do want to make sure that you guys know afaky.org. That's the American Family Association of Kentucky. That's afaky.org. You can text the word family to 50457. All right. Again, text the word family to 50457, and you will get text alerts from the American Family Association of Kentucky. Okay. Just when you text, make sure all you do is text family. Don't text anything else. You start getting emotional and speaking any truth, then you might not get the right thing back. But with that in mind, folks, I also want to make sure that you know to go to historyuntold400.org. Again, that's historyuntold400.org. Make a donation. Again, $2 million is the cap. Okay, so you can make any donation up to $2 million. Over that, we're going to have to involve Uncle Sam, all right? But again, historyuntold400.org. Go make a donation. You can hit $ on Cash App, $ historyuntold400. Again, that's $ historyuntold400 on Cash App. And on PayPal, you can utilize the email historyuntoldinc@gmail.com. Again, that's historyuntoldinc@gmail.com. Or you can just hit us up like some of our amazing listeners do and just find us in the street and throw money at us. That happens sometimes. They just, find us in the street where we eating breakfast at, and they just pull up to the curb and throw money at the window. And, it's all good. We'll take it, make it rain. I ain't got no problem with that. But right now, we're going to jump right into this Ask Mr. Whitey Part 3. And I'm going to hand it back to Uncle Meshorn and Mr. Whitey.
Yeah, the reason why we continue in this segment, and we having a little fun. We know that we on our way out here. I like to believe that we might get a surprise. Okay, I like to believe. I really would like to believe, because I'm just keeping 100. I'm not gonna carry. Okay, I need to see if there's some listeners out there that really want to keep us on. Okay, so I'm not gonna carry. We carry. I say you're my family, and sometimes family got to be told the truth, okay? And the truth is that we cannot continue carrying you if you're not willing to put something in the game, right?
Hey, Meshorn, you got to say it a little bit differently, because we tend to love a good speech and a good sermon, so. You got to say, we cannot carry you. You got to come and hit the $, the History Untold 400 $ on Cash App. If you do it like that, it'll blend with the rest of the shows, and then ultimately people will be like, oh yes, I feel it. Woo.
You've been around me too long.
I'm a preacher's kid, bro. I done been there, didn't I?
What you saying? We not giving him no show. We not doing the hooping and hollering and everything. We not. Yes, Lord, come on,
Hey, it's like Pastor Keith Carter says. You remember him being on the show before, but Pastor Keith Carter, we say he says he don't add no sauce on it. He said I can add the sauce. He said I can add the sauce if you want, but I just I choose to teach. I'm not here to add sauce and give you a show. A little gravy on top.
We're a little short on the sauce. That's what's going on here. We ain't got all that sauce. So Peter, Mrs. Whitey, what do you say to that? Now you could probably answer that. There is. Let's keep it all the way to what he's talking about. There is those type of carrying on every corner in our community. I mean, Oh my God!
Every corner. I
mean,
think there's like 200 some odd churches in the West End. I could be wrong on that because the numbers are simultaneous with the liquor stores, the number of liquor stores in the West End. So I can't remember if it's 200 churches, 200 liquor stores. It might be both.
Yeah. So what do you say that, we got all these religious organizations and all these things going on, but the community won't support themselves? What do you say to that?
Well, we trained you well.
Ooh, that stung. That stung.
Ow.
That stung just a little bit.
Ow.
I'm trying to hold myself back from being emotional.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me find something to slap.
Joe, and Meshorn, we get you drunk, so you go home and mess with your family and destroy your family, and then you go to an institution that tells you pie in the sky, glory when you die, and that's a good gig. That'll keep you not being successful and manning up and creating good God-centered families and taking back your neighborhood. So yeah, we trained you well.
You know what?
50 plus years, 90% child voting Democrat.
Joe, just so he understands, had I not been saved from that, and had I not been, removed from that, I would have might have slapped you on that one, right? I might have slapped you on that, right? That was kind of like a little too hard there. But had I not
Do you want the truth? As Jack Nicholson said in A Few Good Men, can you handle the truth? I want the truth. You can't handle the truth. Louisville, you can't handle the truth.
We were already called you and I was already called in the office and everything because we used the N-word and everything, because between two grown men and everything, me and Mr. Whitey was having a good time.
My bad. I thought it was okay. My fault. I can't keep up. I wouldn't have said it earlier in the show had I known. I thought it was okay. My bad.
And it's okay. We got another caller. We got another. Welcome to the Truth Be Told show. Who are we talking to?
This is Brother Strong briefly. Retired police officer Shelby Lanier Jr. said one thing, and it made a lot of sense. Well, he said a lot. But he said, when a lot of people give a little, you don't need a few people to give a lot. And it made all kind of sense to me.
That's right.
Now, Joe made a statement. He made a statement. And I want to try something out. I want to come by. Are you all going to be in the same place you were last week?
Yes, we're going to be in the same place. Yes, sir.
The same place. I want to throw my offering out of the window. Keep driving. Come by there. Throw my offering out of the window. Keep driving. Because Meshorn, it seems like, don't think you all going to be back on next week. And you might not be. But I want to do what I can do. I want to get it 50 cents. It was some meager amount. And I'm not saying that it's going to be 50 cents. As was said, if everybody get 50 cents, if 1,000 people get 50 cents, we can make it. Okay, well, I want to come by and throw the amount, my contribution out of the window today. Not looking for nothing from you guys.
Right.
I mean, if you're going to be on, you'll be on, and if you don't, you don't. It's just something that I want to do because I do believe in these broadcasts being listener supported.
Exactly.
If you're going to appreciate something, if you enjoy something, and you get the opportunity to do what I'm doing, and you hear the clarion call for help, then I feel that it's up to me to do it rather than have a sponsor where everything you say, if you say something the sponsor don't like, they cut you off.
Right.
So I'm just doing what I'm doing. I'm doing this for me. I'm doing this to do my part. You see, and so can I throw it out of the window?
I will.
I come by.
Yes, sir.
3rd Street.
Let us know when you come. We're going to be here. And we
all right,
and you can come throw it right at us, all right?
All right, well, I'm throwing it out the window. I'm gonna keep on going because I don't have the savvy to get on to make these contributions electronically. You know, so this is why I do this. And so I'm doing this. If you're on, you're on. If you're off, you're off. But I got to do what I got to do.
Hey, but Brother Strong, let me let it be known that you can still follow us on truthbetold.com on our website, right? Truthbetold.com. We ain't going away like that, but we're gonna still be doing our shows. Truthbetold.com. That's truth with an E, and just the same on the Truth Be Told radio show on Facebook. You can catch us there as well. So we ain't gone forever or whatever. We just gonna be gone from the LLV.
Yes. Oh, all right. Well, you know, whatever. Well, I'm talking about this was for the LLV. This is how I think the radio listening audience said you won't be on WLLV. So I'm making my contribution. And if you all own your own, but I just feel like it should be listener supported. You know, if that's
Absolutely.
what you're calling for.
And you are absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct.
Yeah,
and remember, I gave an acronym. I talked to marketers about this stuff.
Okay, so I'm gonna get off here.
Yes, sir.
And get my shoes on. I'll be up there on Thursday.
And we'll be right there. And
all right, thank you.
I want to let you know that money is nothing more than a tool. Okay, if y'all remember the acronym, Vince, you remember that acronym I gave last week? Two. For two, you remember, money is nothing more than tools, okay? You know, wait a minute, but I'm not going to just use money. Marriage is a tool, okay? When my wife and I went into debt to make sure that we didn't go in bankruptcy, because we couldn't pay all our other bills, we got behind. I got a credit score less than 500, okay? Because, you know, we got ourselves in a situation, but we made sure that we took care of everybody else. We did not bail out on anyone. Peter, that's the key that I want to make.
Being a real man.
We manned up. And hold on, I just want other people to understand. My wife I only was married to about 10 years, okay? My wife looked at me kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying, when I put us in this situation. I also had to save my marriage because the word of divorce came up, okay? It was in the conversation, okay? Because our family in a crisis, in a situation, trying to do good in my community that cost us some financial status in her. But you know what? God prevailed, okay? It was an education for us. It was the best education that me and my wife, we're 25 years later, okay? Stronger than ever. And that $100,000 we missed, I ain't bragging. I ain't poor. I ain't rich, but I ain't poor. Okay. And so, you know what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Okay. So, you know, sometimes you got to use money as a tool to get your blessing. And what is a tool? To overcome obvious limitations spiritually. We got a whole lot of things attacking us spiritually. And sometimes you got to use your resources. Listeners, hear me. Some of y'all need to use your resources to get the gifts that God want to give to you. If you consider us, I ain't gonna go into, I've been told that I can preach. I'm not gonna go there. I've been told that I can go there. But if you need a little, if you need just a little bit of preach, okay, to get you inspired to maybe help us out before Joe tell you we go. Let me just give it to you because I can go here. I don't have to be Dr. Meshorn. I don't have to graduate from all the academia play. I don't have to have Reverend on my name. I can speak because I know the word. I know what the words say, okay? Philippians 1 says, be confident in he who began a good thing with you. How many of you believe that God has began a good thing with you? How many of you believe that? How many of you believe that? How many of you believe that God has began a good thing with you?
All right.
Okay? Yeah. Woo. So if you need a little inspired, if you need a little motivation, if you need we want to help keep be told on that. I can go there. If you need that, a little inspiring, okay? Maybe I can do that. So Philippians 1:6, it says, be confident in he who began a good work in you, okay? So the question good work he began in me. So I use my resources as tools to do the good work. Hello.
Man.
Yeah. All right.
I wish I had an organ, man. If I had an organ, man, I'd have got busy just now. That was some.
Maybe that inspires somebody to drop the. Tell them where they can help us out, Joe.
Hey, I'm gonna give y'all a couple things. I'm gonna tell y'all where you can help us out at, and I'm gonna tell you a couple statistics here. And we're gonna lead the show that way. But I want to let y'all know that historyuntold400.org. You can go there and make a donation of any size. You can also hit the Cash App at $historyuntold400. Again, $historyuntold400. And you can also hit PayPal up and use the email historyuntoldinc@gmail.com. Now, I want to let y'all know, remember, truthbetold.com. Again, that's truth with an E. That's truthbetold.com. That's where you can find us at. You can even see the show live there at truthbetold.com and click the little menu button and hit the button that says live, or truthbetold.com/live. That's truth with an E. You can also look up Truth Be Told on YouTube. You'll find us there as well. But just the same, folks, we the ability to come off air, unless you guys change that off the radio airways, allows us the expansion capability to grab an even broader audience. So if y'all want to be in the mix with that big broad audience, then go ahead, truthbetold.com. That's truth with an E, and you can check us out. Now I got some statistics here, Uncle Meshorn, and it came from Mr. Whitey. Do you mind if I read these statistics real quick?
No.
Okay, since we get ready to go off air.
Better Days with Peter Hayes.
Absolutely, Better Days with Peter Hayes. We'll scratch the Mr. Whitey thing. But he is the global spokesperson for all white
radio
station. There you go. But listen, real quick, the traditional two-parent family is dissolving before our very eyes, and you're getting distracted with slaps in the face on the Oscars and things of that nature. You're getting distracted with those things. All the while, the traditional two-parent family is dissolving. The nuclear family is dissolving before our very own eyes. Now, 2022, 41% of all children born in America are born out of wedlock, versus 1960, it was only 5%, right? Now, let's break those numbers down even more. When you look at those numbers, current, you look at that 41% of all children born out of wedlock here in America. Asians is 17%, right, of that number. You got European Americans are 31% of that number. Hispanics, 55% of that number. And the ADOS, American descendants of slaves, that will be people that look like me, people that look like Uncle Meshorn, the melanated people, the original man, the Africans, if you will, are at 74% here in America of all children born out of wedlock, right? So that's something to think about, folks. It's 9:56 a.m. Right here, March 29th, 2022, the only time you're going to get a 9:56 a.m. March 29th, 2022. You need to think about that as you move throughout your day. Back at you, Uncle Meshorn.
Yes, what I want to say, I want to have Peter want to jump in and say something because I'm going to let Peter close us out, because it's very important. Those numbers is dabbing. I mean, you can laugh, you can talk about, you're going to have all the people saying what they want. We are the most, if we was running a race, the Derby, we just came in 4th place. Joey, is that what I just heard? We didn't even show. That's 4th place. 71%. 71%. What are you laughing about? What are you jumping about? What you all happy about? That's culturally. We are 71% failing our family, failing in marriage. And we want to blame the white man. That's why I want to, Peter, speak to that.
Yeah, and the amazing thing is, look at the poverty rate. So it's really about the family, stupid. It's, so Asian Americans, and there's some stuff, if you ask people, well, the white man, number one, no. We didn't win the NCAA championship. We didn't win the Super Bowl. Because Asian Americans who have the lowest rate of children born out of wedlock make more money and have a higher education than anybody else. European Americans are the runner-up at 31%. They're the second wealthiest. Hispanics are in third place, as you said, at 55%, but that's the poverty. The poorest group is ADOS, American Descendants of Slave, at 74%. Now, the myth is, well, it's because of racism. Well, listen, Asians are not people, they're not the European Americans. They're so-called people of color. But guess what? They're staying married. They have the lowest rate of divorce. They have the most intact families, highest education level. So it's really not very, very simple. If you have strong marriages and strong families, you have a strong community. If you don't, it all hits the fan.
There it is. Truth be told, you heard it. If you want more of it, if you love this truth that we're giving you, you will have us back. It's up to you. It's up to you. And I want to make very clear that you understand, as much as I'm trying to make this very clear, I ain't begging you to do what you need to do for yourself, okay? I'm hoping that you see the value in what truth be told been doing in almost these 6 months that we've been on here, 6 months, 7 months we've been on here and everything. I'm hoping that you see the value in it. And that's our show. It's been good. I hope to see you next week. But if not, look for us on the internet. All right, out of here. Vince. What's up, folks? This is Mr.
All right, cue the music.
Cueing music.
Start the music.
Starting music.
And go.
It's the Truth Be Told show, where we place America first. Honoring those who America has forgotten. Listen in and unlearn to relearn. As we set the record straight. And now, your host of the Truth Be Told show, Mr. Just Ask Joe and Uncle Meshorn.